Hey guys, Gaston with Rough Country. Today we're taking a look at our tailgate reinforcement for the Jeep JL. This is a solid steel mount, powder coated for years of service and made right here in Tennessee. And this is going to help your JL deal with the problem of a larger, heavier spare tire. It's going to tie in the spare tire mounts to the hinge mounts and fortify the tailgate. Installation is a simple bolt-on affair, and it can be used with the factory spare tire mount, or it's a great addition to Rough Country's spare tire relocation bracket. And speaking of that, this Jeep already has our spare tire relocation bracket installed. If you want to see that installation, you can take a look here. But for today, I'm going to show you how to install the tailgate reinforcement bracket. Let's get going. First thing we're going to do is remove our spare tire carrier and relocation bracket. You can unbolt this and support it if you want to on the side, which is perfectly fine. Because the bracket's already installed to the carrier to make my life easier, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this out. I've already popped off our trim panel, and I'm gonna unplug the third brake light as well as the camera. That way I can fully remove this unit, set it aside, bolt up our tailgate reinforcement, and then reinstall the carrier. So I'll go ahead, pull our wires through, and then I'll unbolt the carrier. Now we're going to remove our factory hinge bolts. And these are a T55, and they are notorious for stripping out. So what I like to do is just give the threads a little shock before I start to turn them. Take a hammer, go all the way around. It's just gonna give it a shock and hopefully loosen it enough that it's gonna break loose without any problems. We'll just remove these bolts. We will not be reusing them. Now your hardware is going to include this conical spacer. It is designed to fit perfectly where the factory bolt was and space the bracket off just enough to clear the hinge. We also include an optional trim panel that you can attach to make the RC more prominent using double sticky tape. We're going for more of a black on black with this build, so we're going to leave it off. I'll run my bolts through and add the spacers, making sure that the conical side is the side that's going toward the Jeep. Once I get all four of them set up, we'll go over to the Jeep and install the bracket. Let's get this lined up. Start the bottom first, so the hardware doesn't fall apart. With the bracket mocked up here, you can see how it's going to take our mounting points from our spare tire carrier and tie them into the mounting points of the hinges and spread the load evenly across this plane. That's going to help alleviate the stress on the tailgate. I'm going to leave the hinge bolts loose for now. We'll go ahead, reinstall the carrier, get it squared up, then we'll tighten down those bolts, and finally we'll tighten down the hinge bolts in a cross hatch pattern. Now we'll verify that the tailgate's still functioning properly, as it is, and I'll reconnect my connections for the brake light and the camera. And with that, the installation of the tailgate reinforcement for the Jeep JL is complete, and we've got our 35 mounted. It is secure, and we don't have to worry about that extra weight doing anything unnecessary to the tailgate. For this and all other JL accessories, be sure to check us out at roughcountry.com.